Hello, feminine. I I don't know what to say because I feel like I keep hearing your voice in my head saying, "I told you so." And yes, I know you don't say that. I think that's part of what really bothers me is that you don't say things like that, and yet I had you in my head before as someone who did. And over this year has shown me that you've never really said stuff like that. Oh, you have your ways of giggling and laughing when you did tell me so, but you don't try to rub things in like that. And it's been the karmics around me who have done that, and they still do that now. And speaking of karmics, the one that I've been with, and those that I thought would remain my friends, that would, I hate to admit, they were my backup plans. I can see now that I used them to keep a separation between us because I was afraid of genuine love, most especially from you. And now, as I sit here finding that my days are full of childishness and greed and constant fighting, and my nights are filled with dreams of you, I feel like during the day, even when she's doing everything she can to take all of my attention, all she does is drive my mind further into thinking about you and how you wouldn't do these things to me, and how stupid I was to have accused you of that. How stupid I was to have ever have called you childish for wanting just some regular attention from me. How I ever called you controlling for asking me to have some integrity, to be good to myself, to be good to my friends and our kids and to you. That I ever accused you of interfering rather than just owning that this situationship was never good in the first place, and that if there was any room for anyone to interfere, it was not their fault, that the dynamic was toxic to begin with. And I swear, I try to even go for a drive sometimes. I get so mad, so reactive. I just go. And every sign, every song, I even hear your name. And it seems like the more I try to pull away from you, the more I hear it. The more I feel my chest tightening. The more I miss you. And then you reach out, and part of me feels like I should tell you, stop trying to be friends. Stop doing anything. And not even because I no longer worry about it being some sort of mark of disloyalty of me. I just feel like I look at the mess around me, and how could you possibly want to be with me, that maybe there's some part of you that is naive, because if I was to be with you right now, I would drag you down. That's how I feel. And so I've been trying to pull away because I want so much to be free of this karmic entanglement, of all the karmic entanglements that I chose over us. Though I feel almost like I'm not allowed to. I No, I have to admit, I know that it's not that I'm not allowed to. It's that I finally put myself in enough of a mess and enough of a bind that I cannot just snake out of it. I cannot just ambiguously slide out and just blame them. I certainly cannot blame you. Even my own family and friends see the difference over this time of separation, of how you have succeeded versus how my life has just been falling apart more and more. I don't have the money. I don't have the reputation. I don't have the credit or credibility. My kids don't want to see me. My family doesn't want to be with me. Even I don't want to be with me. Which is largely why I don't understand how you can still appear to have absolute faith in me. And yet, I'm so glad that you do. To be honest, it makes me cry. Because I do remember when you didn't have that faith in me. And I wanted more than anything for you to, in many ways, treat me like you would with our kids. To recognize that in my tantrums and my fits that wasn't me. To hold in your heart the me that you know is me. Beyond the pain and trauma and cycles, and just have faith in me. And now you have it, and it almost feels worse. It feels better, but it feels worse. Because I look around me, and I have everything that I said that I had to have before I could fully love you. I have a house. I have a job. I pay the bills. Things are in my name. I do things my way, mostly. But I still let everybody else control me. And I act like you control me, or you do things like that, and you don't. Sometimes it just feels easier to blame you because I can't stand to look at my life and see that you have been doing nothing. Sometimes I find myself mad even that you do nothing. Maybe one day I'll be able to own and admit it, but I wanted you to come in and rescue me. Especially when in the beginning, I thought that things were going to go good, and I was kind of trying to show off. I was making it out to be much better than it actually was. But I wanted you to be proud of me. I didn't want my first jump away from us when all you asked me to do was prove myself and to stop mistreating you. I wanted to show you that I heard you, that it meant something, that I could do it. And then even I couldn't hide from how bad it was. And then I realized I made all of these choices. And I kept hearing your voice in my head. And I know you weren't even saying it to be mean, but you said, you can't be mad at others. You made this mess. And I know you really were just trying to help me feel some sort of like personal empowerment for it. But I just hear that in my head. And I know that it's true, and it drives me nuts. I made this mess. I made this mess. I made this mess. Before, it was easy enough to blame you because I gave you all of the power and made you decide everything and made you responsible for all of it. And if it didn't work, I blamed you. Just like others did to me before. And now I've been in that position with this karmic, and it feels horrible, and I feel miserable that I did that to you. And I don't know how to come back from that. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know, even if I didn't want to be free from this karmic, it is done. I am done. It is so over. It's just getting past the childishness and the victimization and the threats, and I'm just building my strength because I stayed because I thought that my reputation would be ruined, that I would have nothing if I didn't shut up and just stick with it. And now I see that by believing the threats and my own fear and ego, I have that anyways. And worse than that, I remember you telling me about how I've been manifesting all of this, and I see that I sat in ego and fear instead of love and joy. And I manifested this mess, and I see you glowing up. And I know that you did it by doing what you said, by living more in love and joy, despite everything around you. And I want that so much, and I want you. I don't feel good enough for you at all. And to be honest, I don't completely trust that you really will take me back. Though I'm coming, and I'm going to try, and I'm going to try more than I've ever tried. I know that in the past I've only given small steps, and if you said no, that you needed more, that I threw my hands up and said it was far too hard and treated you like you would be like my other karmics and beat me over the head about it forever and ever. And that was stupid of me, and I'm sorry. And this time, I don't care if you do have rules or demands or that you want proof. I want to earn it. In fact, even if you tell me that I don't need to earn it, that you'll just take me back, that's not good enough for me anymore. I want to do like you did to me and tell you, don't you dare give me any trust I have not earned, because I need that for me. So think about what it is that you want, even though you don't need anything. You're so strong and so loving and so good and so self-sufficient. I know you need none of it, but think about what you want, because I want to feel like I've earned it, feminine. I'm coming as soon as I can. Be ready.